Are you at a place when you are trying to figure out your brand identity, whether it be because you are trying to enter in a new market, you're starting a new business, or maybe you realize it's time to do something different with the skill set you already have? Before you get started on building a brand, I want to tell you about the one mistake I see hundreds of women make and some things you can do to avoid it. So if that is you, then let's go ahead and get started. Hi, my name is Sybil, and if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for dropping in today. A little bit about me, HR executive turned brand strategist, here to help as many women as possible build brand authority in industries that they already love. So if you are a service provider, creative, expert, innovator, trailblazer, then this is the channel for you. Today's topic, avoiding this number one mistake in choosing your brand identity. To recap, your brand identity is simply the thing that you are known for. And if you've watched any of my other videos, then you know the thing that you're known for is your reputation. You already have a personal brand. Today, we are talking about some mistakes people make when they're deciding to control their brand identity instead of letting it drive them down whatever street people want them to walk down. And what I found is women, particularly women who have spent a long time in one specific career, who have pivoted out, who are trying something new, they find that their former brand identity doesn't quite fit them. It's a little bit restricting. So to break free from who you used to be and what people used to know you for without injury can feel like a daunting task. We don't want to compromise our reputation. We don't want to lose our client. We don't want to lose our current client base if we already have one. We want to make sure that we can tell the naysayers to see you later because this is what we are going to do next. And with all of that noise going on, it can be overwhelming to find your brand voice, pick your brand identity, step forward in your truth, and then share it with the world. It is against the grain. So, in order to help you get through and wade through all of the things that are going on in our minds, as well as what's going on outside of us with all the noise, I want to make sure you avoid doing this one thing. And this one mistake can cost your next brand identity or reputation. That one thing is not knowing not only who you are, but who you want to be. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be remembered by when you think, oh, wow, there's this word association and here's my name? I want those two things to go together. And finding those right words, especially if we are not armed with the vocabulary, can feel like this distant, far-fetched idea, even if you're really good at what you do. And if you're watching this, and I know you are, that doesn't always mean we have the right words to describe our expertise. I've worked with so many women who have a really strong skill set, but their titles have weighed them down. The what I am used to being called has taken precedent over the skill set and gifts and talents that you're supposed to be using in this next season of life to share with the world. So, here are a couple of things you can start doing today. And if you watch any of my videos, you already know I'm about to give you some homework and some action items. Here's some things you can start doing today to get clear about who you are and who you want to be. Before I jump in, don't forget to hit that like or subscribe, and definitely leave me a comment below if any of these tips help you. Number one, build your brag. Again, I say testimonials, feedback, things people say about you matter. And sometimes it's like, Sybil, I don't care what people say about me. Well, you should, because if you don't know what people are saying, then you can't control what they're going to say about you next. The worst thing you can do is leave your brand identity to chance or in the hands of somebody else who does not align with the vision you have for you. Creating that brag book is your opportunity to figure out how people are talking about you and the context in which they are bringing up your name, even in rooms you are not physically in. So, number one, your objective is to build your brag book and figure out what people are saying about you and do you like what you hear. If you don't like what you hear, then now's your opportunity to change the narrative. Number two, learn from your past mistakes. What in your brand has worked? What in your brand has not worked for you? What things do you feel like should have never been associated with you? Learn from those past mistakes. Those will help drive you to what you want to do next. I talk a lot about my mistake, calling myself Sybil the Sage Stewart. It'll be in another video where I talk about how I came up with that name. There was some logic behind it, but ultimately going in the direction that my brand is today was the right direction for me. And again, if I knew what I wanted to be called, what I wanted to be known for, and how I wanted to serve, I would have never launched with that brand. So, some things to ask yourself: how do I serve? How do I work best? Who benefits most from the work I do? And what mistakes have I learned that I can teach someone about that will help them do better? Because ultimately, if you are in business to serve, then you are solving a very immediate problem for someone who needs your help. Take your time and learn from all of the joys and maybe not so great experiences that have come with everything that you are today. That leads me to number three, assess your expertise. Are you a novice? Are you a keen amateur, or are you an enthusiastic entrepreneur, an enthusiastic expert? And keep in mind, we cannot be experts at all of the things, but we can be good at a lot of things. Figure out which things you want to be great at, and then let that drive towards your brand. Number four, learn to set boundaries around this new identity. And that has to happen the minute you realize you want to take charge in shaping what happens with your brand identity next. You're going to have to let go of some old habits. You're going to have to let go of people pleasing or saying yes to everything or conceding when you know that you have the right, better, best answer. Figure out ways to start setting boundaries about the truest version of you, and your brand identity and voice will start to show up really quickly. It might scare some other people, but it shouldn't scare you because this is the you that already existed anyway. And then the last thing that I highly recommend that you do so that you avoid making a brand faux pas is find words that agree with your spirit and make those your mantra. When I think about the hundreds of women that I have helped over these last several years, none of them had words that feel, none of them could tell me about words that really empowered them or gave them a passion to show up every day. And they did end up overworked and undervalued and distracted and letting all of life's isms take charge of what they thought they were supposed to be doing. So I want to challenge you today to think, what words, when I say them, when other people say them, empower me and embolden me, that strengthen me on days where I feel like I'm not enough? What are those words or set of words? How can you turn that into a daily mantra that helps you get clear about your brand? The more consistent you talk clear about you, what you do, and why no one else can do it better than you, the less likely it will be that you will make a brand identity mistake. The more likely it is you will attract the clients that you know you deserve to attract because you're going to be saying the words that they also need to hear. If they are your words, then they might be someone else's words also. And so when you put all of this together, think, does this fit? Does it fit me? Or does it still feel forced? Does it feel like a little rub? Do I feel some tension? Or does it come out of my mouth with ease? Do I like how it sounds against my ear? With all of those synapses firing, does this make me feel special? So often we think brands are our logos and our colors and all of those things, but that's just not it, especially as a service provider. If you want to dig deep and build a brand worth remembering, one that is remarkable, then this is your competitive advantage. You can build on colors and labels and logos later. Figure out this part of you now and build the brand that you know you're supposed to build. You are responsible for the legacy that you intend to leave behind. So, I hope that you all enjoyed this. I know you like, Sybil, you're talking to me. Yes, I am talking to you today, sis. I want to make sure that you have everything you need to set yourself up for a fabulous branding experience. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and please be sure to check out some of my other videos on branding, brand strategy, and why every woman should be the authority. Because yes, that is you. You should be authority. Bye for now.